The rain was pouring heavily that night when Chief Williams' driver found him collapsed in his mansion bathroom, clutching his chest, his phone lying shattered beside him. The ambulance was taking too long.
His children were abroad.
His wife had passed 2 years ago. There was no one. Sir, please stay with me, the driver screamed, trying to lift the heavy man. Chief Williams' lips moved slowly, barely a whisper. Baba Tund find. Baba Tund. The driver froze. Sir, Baba Tund? The gateman you sacked 15 years ago? But Chief Williams had already lost consciousness. But before I tell you this incredible story, do me one favor. If you love powerful stories about injustice, courage, and shocking revelations, please subscribe to my channel right now. I create these amazing moral stories every week. You don't want to miss the next one. Hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's go back to how this nightmare started. Chief Williams wasn't always Chief. Back then, he was just Mr. Emmanuel Williams, a 32-year-old man from Anambra State who had come to Lagos with nothing but dreams and a small loan from his uncle. His business was importing generators and electrical equipment, but he was struggling badly. His office was a single room in a rundown building in Ikeja. The paint was peeling off the walls. The ceiling leaked when it rained. He had one table, 2 chairs, and an ancient desktop computer that took 10 minutes to start. His warehouse was just a corner of the same building where he stacked generators that weren't selling. Every morning, Emmanuel would wake up at 4 a.m. in his one-room apartment in Ajij, trek to the bus stop, squeeze into Malu bus with market women and laborers, and get to his office by 7 a.m. Most days, no customers came. He would sit there, sweating in the heat because he couldn't afford to run the generator, making calls to potential clients who never called back. That's where he met Baba Tund. Baba Tund was a Yoruba man from Ibadan, 62 years old, with gray hair, a weathered face, and the kindest eyes Emmanuel had ever seen. He had been working as a gateman and cleaner in that building for 15 years. Every tenant who came and went, Baba Tund saw them all. He watched young men come with big dreams and leave broke. He saw businesses fail. But something about Emmanuel caught his attention. Oga, you day come early every morning, Baba Tund said one day as he swept the corridor. You no day tire? Emmanuel looked up from his desk where he was calculating his debts. Baba, if I tire, who go feed me? My uncle borrow me money. If this business fail, I go disgrace my family. Baba Tund nodded slowly. You get wife? Yes, sir. Gozi. We marry 8 years ago. She day Lagos with me for one room for Ajij. We get one daughter. How old? 9 years old. Her name Na Kayamaka. She day go primary school for here. Baba Tund saw the pain in Emmanuel's eyes. He saw a young man carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. That night, as Emmanuel was about to lock up his office and go home, Baba Tund came with a small plastic bag. Oga, a bag make you eat, Baba Tund said, handing him the bag. Inside was akara, bread, and a small tin of groundnuts. Baba, I no fit collect your food, Emmanuel protested. You, SEF need am. My Peking don send me small money this week. I don chop. You SEF need, and more than me. A beg, just collect am. Emmanuel's eyes filled with tears. He collected the food and ate it right there. It was the first proper meal he'd had in 2 days. From that day, Baba Tund took Emmanuel under his wing like a son. When armed robbers tried to break into the building one night, targeting Emmanuel's generators, it was Baba Tund who fought them with a stick and raised alarm until neighbors came out. The robbers ran away, but Baba Tund got beaten badly. Emmanuel rushed him to the hospital and paid the bill with money he had set aside for his own feeding. Baba, why you risk your life for me? Emmanuel asked as they sat in the hospital. Because I see something for you, Oga. I see say you know be the cane person way go use person. You get good heart.
God go bless you.
I know am. When Emmanuel's generator broke down and he couldn't afford to fix it, Baba Tund used his own small savings and 15,000 he had been saving to send to his children in the village to repair it. "Baba, I go pay you back," Emmanuel promised, crying. "I know, Oga. I know. Na why I day do am." Baba Tund would clean Emmanuel's office without being asked. He would chase away area boys who came to extort money. When Emmanuel was too broke to eat, Baba Tund would share his own food. When Emmanuel was sad and discouraged, Baba Tund would sit with him and tell him stories about how he had worked for different people over the years, some who made it and some who didn't. "The difference, Oga," Baba Tund would say, "no be who get big grammar or who sabi book pass. Na who get mind to continue even when he hard. You get that kind mind. I day see am." Emmanuel's wife, Ngozi, would call him crying every week. "Emmanuel, when you go bring better house for us. This one-room apartment for a Jeej too small. Kayamika day grow. She need her own space." "Ngozi, a beg manage small. Business goes soon better. I promise." But months passed and nothing changed. His debts piled up. His uncle who borrowed him money was getting impatient. The landlord of the building was threatening to throw him out for unpaid rent. One Sunday evening, Emmanuel sat in his office, staring at a bottle of sniper insecticide he had bought. He was thinking about ending it all. The shame was too much. The failure was crushing him. Baba Tund knocked on the door. "Oga, you still day here? I see say your light still day on." Emmanuel quickly hid the bottle. "Yes, Baba. I day just think." Baba Tund studied his face, and something told him all was not well.
He sat down.
"Oga, when day worry you?"
"Talk to me."
And Emmanuel broke down. He told Baba Tund everything.
The debts. The shame.
The pressure. The hopelessness. Baba Tund listened quietly. When Emmanuel finished, the old man stood up and placed his hand on Emmanuel's head. "My son," he said softly, "I day this Lagos for over 40 years. I don't see people way get everything lose am. I don't see people way no get anything become something. Life na turn by.
Turn.
Your own turn go come. But if you kill yourself, you go miss am. Your wife go miss am. Your Pekin go miss am. You hear me?" Emmanuel nodded, tears streaming down his face. "Make I tell you something?" Baba Tund continued. "When I be young man like you, I also struggle. My wife nearly comet leave me because poverty nearly kill us. But I tell myself say, even if not Gateman I go day and with good heart. And you see today? All my 5 children don't go school. They no rich, but they day okay. My grandchildren day call me for village every week. I no get mansion, but I get peace. You go get your own success, Oga. E go sweet pass because you suffer for am." That night, Baba Tund took the sniper bottle and threw it away. He made Emmanuel promise never to think that way again. 2 weeks later, something happened that changed everything. A man in an expensive suit walked into Emmanuel's office one hot afternoon. His name was Alhaji Suleiman, a construction company owner who had gotten Emmanuel's number from someone. "I need someone to supply me generators for my construction site," Alhaji said. 20 generators. Industrial size. Can you do it?" Emmanuel's heart was pounding. This was it. This was the breakthrough he'd been praying for. "Yes, sir. I can do it."
"Good.
"I need them in 2 weeks. Here's 50% deposit." Alhaji wrote a check for N25 million. Emmanuel stared at the check, his hands shaking. He had never seen this much money in his life. When Alhaji left, Emmanuel ran to find Baba Tund. Baba, it happened. It finally happened." He showed him the check. Baba Tund's face broke into the biggest smile. You see when I been day talk. God don show you say your time don reach." They hugged each other and danced in that small office like 2 madmen. Emmanuel fulfilled the contract perfectly. Al-Haji was so impressed that he gave him another contract. Then another. Then he introduced him to his friends in the construction business. Within 1 year, Emmanuel's business exploded. By 2010, he had moved from that small office in Acadia to a proper warehouse in Apapa with 10 staff members. He was making millions. He moved his wife and daughter from the one room in Ajij to a nice 3-bedroom flat in Suralere. Kayamika was enrolled in a better school. And the first thing he did when the money started coming? He gave Baba Tund and 500,000. Baba, I no fit ever forget whatten you do for me, Emmanuel said, kneeling down before the old man. You be the only person way believe in me when I no get nothing. Baba Tund wept. Oga, just make sure say as God don bless you, make you no change. Stay humble. No forget where you day come from. I swear to God, Baba. I go never forget. Emmanuel promoted Baba Tund from Gateman to head of security for his new warehouse. He increased his salary from N18,000 to N50,000. He bought him new clothes, new shoes, and new phone. He sent money to Baba Tund's children in the village. Baba Tund's wife had died 3 years earlier, so he lived alone in a small room in the warehouse compound. But Emmanuel made sure he was comfortable. He bought him a new bed, a small TV, and treated him like family. Business kept growing. By 2011, Emmanuel had become one of the biggest generator suppliers in Lagos. He was making hundreds of millions. He bought his first Jeep, a Toyota Land Cruiser. He moved his family to a bigger house in Acadia GRA. By 2012, he was worth over ₦1 billion. He built a massive mansion in Lekki Phase 1, 6 bedrooms, a swimming pool, a cinema room, staff quarters, everything. He became Chief Emmanuel Williams after he took a chieftaincy title in his hometown. His children were now in the best schools. His wife drove a Range Rover. He had 3 other cars. He belonged to the most exclusive clubs in Lagos. He flew first class. He attended parties with governors and senators. And through it all, Baba Tund was there. Chief Williams brought Baba Tund to live in the boys' quarters of his Lekki mansion as head of security. He paid him an 80,000 a month. He gave him bonuses during Christmas and Salah. He helped Baba Tund's last son, Biodun, get into the University of Lagos to study engineering. Baba, anything you need, just tell me, Chief would say. Oga, you don't do enough. God go continue to bless you. Chief William's wife, Mrs. Ngozi, loved Baba Tund like an uncle. She would send food to his room every day. During family gatherings, Baba Tund ate at their table. Their 3 children, Kayamika, Chikwudi, and Obioma, called him Uncle Tund and played with him. Baba Tund had become part of the family. On Chief William's 45th birthday in 2018, he threw a massive party. There were over 500 guests. Governors came. Senators came. Businessmen came. The party was the talk of Lagos for weeks. During the party, Chief Williams asked Baba Tund to come to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief announced to the crowd, I want to introduce you to someone very special. This man, Baba Tund, was with me when I had nothing. When I was struggling in a small office in Acadia, this man shared his food with me. When armed robbers attacked my office, this man fought them with a stick. When I wanted to give up on life, this man gave me hope. Today, I am what I am partly because of this man's loyalty and prayers. The crowd applauded as Baba Tund stood there, embarrassed but honored. Baba, I'm giving you and 2 million today, Chief continued. Use it to build yourself a proper house in your village. Baba Tund fell to his knees, weeping. God bless you, my son. You be like my own Pekin. I go day pray for you till I die. That moment was beautiful. That moment was pure. But slowly things began to change. As Chief William's wealth grew, so did his circle of friends. He started attending exclusive parties in places like Eco Hotel, Oriental Hotel, and private clubs in Victoria Island and Ikoyi. He met other billionaires, society people, and what Nigerians call the upper class. These people were different. They cared about status, appearance, and what others thought. They measured success by how flashy your lifestyle was, what car you drove, where you vacationed, and who you associated with. One evening, Chief Williams attended a party hosted by Alhaji Mustafa, a billionaire oil magnate. The party was at Alhaji's mansion in Banana Island, the most expensive neighborhood in Nigeria. Everything was gold and marble. The guests were wearing the most expensive clothes. The champagne alone cost millions. Chief Williams was telling a story to a group of men when Alhaji Mustafa asked, "Emmanuel, I've been to your house in Lekki. Beautiful place. But I noticed you still have that old gateman. The gray-haired man. What's his name again?" "Baba Tund," Chief replied. "Yes, he's been with me for over 6 years now. Very loyal man." Alhaji laughed, not a kind laugh, but a mocking one. "Brother, you're now a billionaire. You can't have an old man like that as your security. What message are you sending to people?" "What do you mean?" Chief asked, confused. Another man, Chief Adeyemi, a businessman who owned hotels, joined in. "My brother, what Alhaji is trying to say is this. You've moved to another level now. You need to upgrade everything. Your security, your staff. Everything must look professional and sharp. That old man looks like a grandfather. People will think you're not serious." "But Baba Tund has been loyal to me from the beginning." "Loyalty is good, yes," a third man interrupted. "But this is business. This is Lagos. Image is everything. You need ex-military security men. Young, sharp, well-trained guys. CCTV cameras. The whole package. Not some old man with a stick." Chief Williams laughed it off at first, but the seed was planted in his mind. A week later, his wife, Mrs. Ngozi, hosted a women's meeting at their house, wealthy Lagos wives who belonged to the same social club. One of them, Chief Mrs. Nkiru, a sharp-tongued society woman known for her brutal honesty, made a comment. "Ngozi, darling, your house is absolutely stunning," Mrs. Nkiru said. "But why do you still have that old gateman? I saw him when I drove in. He looks like he should be in a village resting, not working security." Mrs. Ngozi, who loved Baba Tund, defended him immediately. "Baba Tund is family to us. He's been with my husband from the beginning. He's not just a gateman." "Family?" Mrs. Nkiru laughed. "My dear, family is family. Business is business. You people are too emotional. Look at your husband's level now. You need to start thinking about your brand, your image. What will people say when they come to your house and see an old gateman?" The other women murmured in agreement. That evening, Mrs. Ngozi mentioned the conversation to Chief Williams. She didn't think much of it, but she could see something shift in her husband's eyes. "Maybe they have a point," he said quietly. "What point?" Mrs. Ngozi asked, alarmed. "Emmanuel, these women don't know what Baba Tund did for you. For us. Don't listen to them." "I'm not saying I'll sack him. I'm just saying, maybe we can add more professional security and let Baba Tund take a lighter role." But the truth was, Chief Williams was beginning to feel embarrassed. Every time friends visited, he would notice their eyes linger on Baba Tund with amusement. At parties, when he mentioned his head of security, people expected to hear about some ex-military commando, not a 70-year-old man from Ibadan. The embarrassment grew. By 2015, Chief Williams had hired 2 new security men, young, tall, muscular guys who looked the part. He bought them matching uniforms and gave them walkie-talkies. He installed CCTV cameras all over the compound. He was upgrading. Baba Tund noticed the changes, but said nothing. He continued his work humbly, opening and closing the gate, checking on visitors, praying for the family. But Chief Okonkwo started treating him differently. He stopped calling him Baba and just called him Tund. He stopped eating with him during family dinners. He stopped asking about his well-being. When Baba Tund greeted him, Chief's responses became shorter, colder. The warmth was fading. Mrs. Ngozi noticed and confronted her husband. Emmanuel, what's happening to you? Why are you treating Baba Tund like this? This is not the man I married. Nothing is happening. I'm just busy. Busy? Or ashamed? Ashamed of what? Ashamed of the people who helped you get here. Your new friends have turned your head. You're becoming proud. Ngozi, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're forgetting where you came from. They argued that night, but Chief Okonkwo's pride wouldn't let him admit she was right. Then, something happened that made everything worse. Mrs. Ngozi started feeling tired all the time. She had been losing weight, feeling weak, and experiencing strange pains in her body. At first, she thought it was stress from managing the household and taking care of the children, but when the symptoms persisted, Chief Williams insisted she go for a full medical checkup. The results came back devastating. Stage 3 breast cancer. The family was shattered. Chief Williams, despite all his money and connections, felt helpless. The best doctors in Lagos were consulted. They recommended aggressive chemotherapy and possibly surgery. During this dark period, something interesting happened. Baba Tund became the family's rock. While Chief Williams was running around organizing doctors and treatments, while the children were confused and scared, while relatives and friends came and went with their sympathy and gossip, Baba Tund was there, constant and steady. He would wake up at 4 a.m. every morning to pray for Mrs. Ngozi. He would fast twice a week for her healing. When she was too weak to eat, he would make special soups from his village that his own mother had taught him to make for sick people. When she cried in pain at night and couldn't sleep, he would sit outside her bedroom door, praying quietly. "Mama, God is not a wicked God," he would tell her on her good days. "He knows what he's doing. You will survive this." Mrs. Ngozi, lying in bed with her headscarf covering her bald head from chemotherapy, would hold his wrinkled hand and cry, "Baba, I'm so scared. What if I don't make it? My children are still young." "You will make it. I day see am for dream. God show me." The children, especially Kayamika, who was 14 years old at the time, grew very close to Baba Tund during this period. He would tell them stories to distract them from their mother's illness. He would help them with homework. He would pray with them before they slept. Chief Williams saw all of this, and for a moment, just a moment, his heart softened. He remembered why he loved this old man. He remembered the loyalty, the pure heart, the selflessness. One night, during a particularly difficult moment when Mrs. Ngozi had been rushed to the hospital because of complications, Chief Williams broke down in the hospital corridor. Baba Tund sat beside him. "What if I lose her, Baba?" Chief Williams wept. "What will I do? How will I raise these children alone?" Baba Tund put his arm around him, like a father comforting a son. "Oga, you no go lose her. God go work him out. But make I tell you something, life day teach us say the things way we day chase. Money, big house, big car, all those things fit disappear anytime. But the people way truly love us, the people way day with us for good and bad, not dem be the real treasure. Hold your family tight, Oga. Hold them tight." Chief Williams nodded, crying on Baba Tund's shoulder. Mrs. Ngozi fought bravely for over a year. There were good days when she would smile and joke with the family. There were terrible days when the pain was so bad she couldn't move. The cancer had spread to her lymph nodes despite the treatments. Throughout it all, Baba Tund never left their side. In September 2017, Mrs. Ngozi passed away peacefully in her sleep. She was only 43 years old. The burial was massive. Over 2,000 people attended. Politicians came. Business partners came. Society women came. But at the graveside, as they lowered Mrs. Ngozi's body into the ground, it was Baba Tund who wept the loudest. "My daughter," he cried in Yoruba. "Omo mi, you were like my own child. Rest well. Rest well." After the burial, After all the guests had left, after the noise and the condolences and the ceremony, Chief Williams sat alone in his bedroom, staring at his wife's empty side of the bed. Baba Tund knocked softly. "Oga, may I sit with you small?" Chief Williams nodded. They sat in silence for a long time. Then Baba Tund spoke. "I know say you day feel like your world don't end. But you still get 3 children way need you. They don't lose their mother. Make them no feel like they don't lose their father too. You need to strong. For them." Chief Williams grabbed Baba Tund's hand. "Thank you, Baba. Thank you. For everything. For being here. For loving my family. For being you. Not my duty, Oga. I love Una like my own family." That moment was genuine. That moment was real. But grief does strange things to people. And sometimes, instead of bringing people together, tragedy reveals who they really are inside. After the initial mourning period, Chief Williams buried himself in work. He was in pain, and he didn't know how to process it. His friends, those same society friends who had been planting seeds of pride in his heart, swooped in with their advice. "Brother, you need to move on," Al-Haji Mustafa told him one evening at the club. "You're still young. Only 47. Life must continue. You need to travel, relax, enjoy yourself," Chief Adeyemi added. "All this staying in the house mourning won't bring her back." They took him to parties. They introduced him to young women. They encouraged him to upgrade his lifestyle, to shake off the sadness. And slowly, gradually, Chief Williams started changing again. He began drinking more. He started coming home late. He became more irritable with the children and the staff. The softness that Mrs. Ngozi's death had briefly brought back began to harden again. And once again, he started treating Baba Tund with coldness. The 2 younger security men he had hired were given more responsibilities. Baba Tund was pushed to the background. The respect faded. The warmth disappeared. Baba Tund felt it, but said nothing. He continued his work, continued praying for the family, continued hoping that Chief would remember himself. But the worst was yet to come. It was 3 days before Christmas. The compound was decorated with lights. A large Christmas tree stood in the living room. Kayamika, now 20 years old and in her 3rd year at the University of Lagos studying mass communication, had come home for the holidays. Her 2 younger brothers, Chikwudi, 17, and Obioma, 15, were also home from secondary school. Kayamika had grown into a beautiful but very spoiled young woman. Chief Williams, dealing with his grief by throwing money at his children, had given her everything she wanted. Every designer bag, every expensive shoe, every trip to Dubai or Paris if Kayamika asked, she got it. She had become entitled, proud, and looked down on people. On December 22nd, Kayamika came downstairs for breakfast screaming, "Daddy! Daddy! Daddy!" Chief Williams rushed out of his study, alarmed. "What is it? What happened?" "My gold necklace. The one you bought me in Dubai for my birthday. It's missing." "Missing? Are you sure you didn't misplace it?" "Misplace it? Daddy, I'm not stupid. I left it on my dressing table before I went to shower yesterday night. This morning, it's gone. Someone took it." Chief Williams' expression darkened. "Everyone come to the living room. Now!" Within minutes, the entire household staff was assembled. The 2 housemaids, the 3 security men including Baba Tund, the driver, the cook, and the gardener. Kayamika stood there with her arms folded, glaring at everyone like they were criminals. "Someone in this house is a thief," Chief Williams said, his voice cold and hard. "My daughter's gold necklace, worth over $3 million, is missing. I want to know who took it." Everyone shook their heads, protesting their innocence. "I no take am, sir," the first housemaid said, trembling. "Me SEF, I no go near Madam Kayamika room," the second housemaid added. The driver and cook also denied knowing anything about it. "Daddy, only the security people have keys to the main house," Kayamika said, pointing at the 3 security men. They're the ones who lock and unlock the doors at night. It has to be one of them. The two younger security men, both ex-military men who had been working there for 3 years, immediately defended themselves. Sir, we would never steal from you. We have families. We have our pride, the first one said. Sir, you can search our rooms. Search everything. We have nothing to hide, the second one added. Then all eyes turned to Baba Tund. The old man stood there, 72 years old now, his gray hair almost white, his body bent from years of work. He looked confused and scared. Oga, Baba Tund said quietly, I no thief anything. You know me. I been day with you for 10 years. I no fit ever steal from you. Then where is the necklace? Kayamika snapped at him. You're the oldest security person here. You've been here the longest. You probably thought nobody would suspect you.
Ah.
God forbid. Baba Tund exclaimed. Madam Kayamika, I carry you for hand when you be small Pekin. How I go fit thief your thing. That was then. This is now. Daddy, search their rooms. Chief Okonkwo hesitated. Something inside him, some small voice that sounded like his late wife, was telling him this was wrong. But his pride, his anger, and the pressure from his daughter pushed that voice down. Everyone's room will be searched, he declared. Whoever stole that necklace will regret it. They started with the housemaid's quarters. Nothing was found. Then the driver's room. Nothing. The cook's room. Nothing. The two younger security men's rooms. Nothing. Finally, they got to Baba Tund's small boy's quarters behind the main house. It was a simple room with a bed, a small wardrobe, a table with his Bible and prayer mat, and a few pictures of his children on the wall. Chief Okonkwo opened the wardrobe and started searching through Baba Tund's clothes. The old man stood there, his hands shaking, praying under his breath. Then, beneath a pile of Baba Tund's clothes in a drawer, Chief Okonkwo found something, a small brown envelope. He opened it. Inside was N200,000 in cash, 20 pieces of N10,000 notes, neatly arranged. The room went silent. What is this? Chief Okonkwo asked, holding up the money. Baba Tund's face went pale. Oga, that one na my savings. Savings? Kayamika laughed mockingly. Daddy pays you N80,000 a month. How did you save N200,000 in cash? Where did this money come from?
I.
Baba Tund stammered, his voice shaking. I been day save small for long time. I want use buy small piece of land for my village. For my retirement. You're lying, Kayamika shouted. You sold my necklace. That's why you have this money. Who did you sell it to?
No.
I swear to God. I no thief your necklace. This money na my sweat. I day save from the bonuses way Oga day give me every Christmas and Salah. I day save from the small side jobs way I day do. But nobody was listening anymore. Chief Okonkwo stood there, holding the envelope of money, his mind racing. His friends' voices echoed in his head, upgrade. Image is everything. You're too soft. That old man. A part of him knew, deep down, that Baba Tund was telling the truth. A part of him remembered all the years of loyalty, all the sacrifices, all the prayers. A part of him heard his late wife's voice saying, Don't do this. You know he's innocent. But pride is a poison. And once it gets into your bloodstream, it blinds you. Get out of my house, Chief Okonkwo said coldly. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Oga, I beg. Baba Tund fell to his knees. I beg you in the name of God. I no thief your daughter necklace. You know me. You know my heart. I been day with you from the beginning. I fight for you. I pray for you. I take care of your family, like my own family. Why I go thief from you now? I said get out. Tears streamed down Baba Tund's face. Oga, where I go. I no get anywhere to go. My wife don't die. My children they struggle for their own. This house nah, the only home I know for the past 10 years. That's not my problem. You have until tomorrow morning. Pack your things and leave. If you're still here by tomorrow, I will call the police. Oga. Don't let me repeat myself. The two younger security men grabbed Baba Tund and pulled him out of the room. He was crying, begging, calling Chief Okonkwo's name. Kayamika stood there, satisfied. Good riddance. Old thief. That night, Baba Tund packed his small bag in tears. He had one old box, a few clothes, his Bible, his prayer mat, and N200,000 that he had been saving for 3 years from bonuses and small side jobs. That was everything he owned in the world. The other staff members came to sympathize with him, but they were too scared to speak up. They knew Chief Okonkwo's temper. Nobody wanted to lose their job. Only the cook, an older woman named Mama Ejiro, came to his room that night. Baba Tund, I know say you no thief that thing, she whispered. Everybody for this house know. But when we go do? Oga don vex. Mama Ejiro, na God, know my heart. I no thief am. But if na so Oga wan see am make be. I day go. Where you go? I no. But God way bring me here go find place for me. The next morning, December 23rd, just 2 days before Christmas, Baba Tund woke up at 4 a.m. like he always did.
He prayed.
He took his bath. He put on his best clothes, an old but clean shirt and trousers that Chief Okonkwo had given him 3 Christmases ago. He picked up his box and his bag. He took one last look at the room that had been his home for 10 years. Pictures of better times flashed through his mind, Mrs. Ngozi smiling as she brought him food. Kayamika as a little girl, playing in the compound and calling him Uncle Tund. Chief Okonkwo, back when he still had a humble heart, sitting with him and sharing stories. Tears rolled down his face, but he wiped them away. Before he left the compound, he went to the main gate and knelt down right there on the concrete. He prayed out loud. God, you know say I no thief that girl necklace. You know my heart. You know say I serve this family with clean hand and pure mind. I day leave this place today with the same clean hand way I come in with. But Father, I day pray, make you open Chief Okonkwo, I one day. Make him know the truth. Make him no die for guilt. Even though he do me wrong, I still day pray for am. Because when him wife tell me before she die, she say make I always look after her family. Even now way dem don chase me, I still day pray for dem. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
He stood up, picked up his belongings, and walked out of the compound. The 2 security men at the gate watched him go. They said nothing. They were too ashamed. Baba Tund walked down the street of Lekki Phase 1, an old man with 1 box and 1 bag, no phone, nowhere to go, on the 23rd of December, when everyone else was preparing for Christmas. A few neighbors who knew him watched from their windows. Some felt pity. Some didn't care. That's Lagos for you. As Baba Tund walked, he didn't look back. He just kept praying and walking, trusting God for his next step. 2 days later, Chief Okonkwo hosted a massive Christmas party as usual. Rich people came. Food was plenty. Music was loud. Everyone was dancing and celebrating. But Chief Okonkwo couldn't fully enjoy himself. Something was bothering him deep inside. He kept thinking about Baba Tund's face, the tears, the pleading. Kayamika, on the other hand, was having a wonderful time. She was showing off her new designer clothes, taking pictures for Instagram, dancing with her friends. Around 3 p.m., Kayamika went upstairs to her room to get her phone charger. As she was moving her bed to reach the socket behind it, something rolled out from under the bed. Her gold necklace. She froze. She picked it up slowly, her heart beginning to race. Memories flooded back. 2 nights ago, she had been lying on her bed, playing with the necklace, while on a video call with her boyfriend in London. She had gotten tired and dozed off. The necklace, Must have fallen off and rolled under the bed. "Oh my God," she whispered, her hands trembling. "Oh my God. Oh my God." She ran downstairs, her face pale.
Daddy.
"Daddy," she called out in the middle of the party. Chief Okonkwo excused himself from his guests and went to meet her in the hallway. "What is it now, Kayamika?" She opened her palm. The gold necklace glittered there. I found it." Chief Okonkwo stared at the necklace, confusion slowly turning to realization. "Where did you find it?" "It was under my bed. It must have fallen off when I was lying down."
I
didn't check properly." The world seemed to stop for Chief Okonkwo in that moment. You mean it wasn't stolen?"
No, Daddy.
"I'm so sorry. I thought." Chief Okonkwo's legs went weak. He grabbed the wall for support. "What have I done? What have I done?" "Daddy, maybe we can call Baba Tun back. We can apologize." "Apologize?" Chief Okonkwo's voice was sharp. "I accused him of theft. I threw him out like a common criminal. After everything he did for this family. After everything. But Daddy, it was a mistake." "A mistake?" Chief Okonkwo roared, causing some guests to look in their direction. He lowered his voice. "Do you know what you've done? That man is 72 years old. Where is he going to go? It's Christmas Day. We destroyed him." Kayamika started crying. "I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. But sorry couldn't fix this." Chief Okonkwo went to his study and tried calling Baba Tun's number. It was switched off. Of course it was. The old man's phone was probably one of those old Nokia phones that needed charging, and he had nowhere to charge it. He called some of his connections, people who knew people, and asked them to search for Baba Tun. He sent his driver to the village in Ibadan where Baba Tun's people were from. But nobody knew where the old man had gone. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. No one could find Baba Tun. Chief Okonkwo was haunted. Every night, he saw Baba Tun's face in his dreams, kneeling down, begging, crying. He couldn't sleep properly. He couldn't eat well. The guilt was eating him alive. He tried to justify it to himself. The money in his room was suspicious. It was a reasonable suspicion. Anyone would have thought. But he knew he was lying to himself. Deep down, he knew Baba Tun was innocent. He had known it even in that moment. But pride had made him do it. The embarrassment of having an old Gateman. The pressure from his friends. The need to appear strong and decisive. All of it was pride. And now, he had destroyed a loyal man for nothing. After Baba Tun left, things slowly began to fall apart in Chief William's life. The two younger security men he had hired and trusted turned out to be professional thieves. Within 6 months of Baba Tun's departure, they had been colluding with armed robbers. One night in July 2019, armed robbers broke into the mansion. They knew exactly where the CCTV blind spots were. They knew exactly where Chief kept his safe. They stole $15 million in cash, jewelry worth millions, laptops, and other valuables. When Chief Williams confronted the security men, they denied everything. But a few weeks later, one of them was caught trying to sell some of the stolen jewelry in Computer Village. He confessed and implicated the other one. Both were arrested, but the money and jewelry were never fully recovered. Chief Williams hired new security. This time, a professional security company. But there was no loyalty there. They were just doing a job. Nobody cared about the family. Nobody prayed for them. Nobody had that personal touch that Baba Tun had. In 2020, Chief Williams' business started struggling. A major contract he had been working on for months fell through. A Chinese company undercut his prices and took the deal. He lost $200 million. Then, one of his close friends, Alhaji Mustafa, the same one who had convinced him to upgrade his security, betrayed him in a business partnership. They had invested together in a real estate project. Alhaji secretly bought out Chief's shares through a proxy company, cutting him out of the profits. Chief lost $500 million in that deal. The same Chief Adeyemi who had mocked Baba Tund also showed his true colors. He borrowed N$100 million from Chief Williams for an urgent business deal and never paid it back. When Chief pressed him, he threatened to expose some of Chief's shady tax dealings. These friends who Chief had listened to, who had poisoned his mind against loyal people, were all wolves in designer suits. By 2021, Chief Williams' net worth had dropped significantly. He was still rich by normal standards, but the billions had shrunk. He had to sell 2 of his properties to cover debts. His children were another source of pain. Kayamika, racked with guilt about what happened to Baba Tund, tried to cope by spending more money. She finished university in 2020 and got married that same year to a man named Teo, a flashy guy who claimed to be a businessman. Chief Williams spent $50 million on the wedding. But within a year, it became clear that Teo had only married Kayamika for her father's money. When he realized the money was no longer flowing freely, he became abusive. He would beat Kayamika and demand money from her. By 2023, Kayamika had 2 children and was trapped in a terrible marriage. Teo eventually left her for another rich man's daughter, leaving her heartbroken with 2 kids to raise. Chikwudi, Chief's first son, went to America for university in 2019 and fell into bad company. He started doing drugs, first marijuana, then cocaine. By 2022, he was a full-blown addict. Chief spent hundreds of thousands of dollars sending him to rehab, but nothing worked. Chikwudi refused to come back to Nigeria, ashamed of what he had become. Obioma, the last-born, was the only one who seemed okay on the surface. But he had become cold, materialistic, and arrogant, a reflection of his father's transformed character. He went to university in the UK in 2021, spending money recklessly, getting into trouble, failing classes. He had no respect for his father anymore. Chief Williams' mansion in Lekki felt like a prison. It was big and beautiful, but empty. No joy, no laughter, no peace. The staff worked there, but nobody cared about him as a person. They were just collecting salaries. When he was sick, they would do the bare minimum. Nobody prayed for him. Nobody truly cared if he lived or died. Every night, Chief Williams would sit alone in his living room, drink whiskey, and think about his life. He thought about his late wife, Ngozi, and how disappointed she would be in what he had become. He thought about his children and how he had failed them. He thought about the friends who had betrayed him. But most of all, he thought about Baba Tund. Where was he? Was he even still alive? Did he hate Chief Williams? Did he curse the day he met him? Chief Williams had sent people to search for Baba Tund multiple times over the years, but nobody could find him. It was like he had disappeared into thin air. The guilt and regret consumed Chief Williams slowly, like a disease. Chief Williams was 47 years old now. The years had not been kind to him. His hair was completely gray. His face was lined with stress and regret. His health was failing, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart problems. It was late at night. Chief had been in his study, looking at old pictures from happier times. Pictures of him and his late wife. Pictures of the children when they were small. And there, in one picture from 2018, his 45th birthday party, he saw Baba Tund standing in the background, smiling, happy to be part of the celebration. Chief Williams stared at that picture for a long time, tears streaming down his face. "I'm sorry, Baba," he whispered to the picture. "I'm so sorry." He stood up to go to the bathroom. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. His left arm went numb. He couldn't breathe. Heart attack. He tried to call for help, but his phone slipped from his hand and shattered on the bathroom floor. He collapsed, clutching his chest, gasping for air. "Help, somebody help." But the staff quarters were far from the main house. The security men were outside. Nobody heard him. 20 minutes later, his driver, who had forgotten his phone in the main house, came to get it and heard sounds from Chief's bathroom. "Sir? Sir, are you okay?" He broke down the door and found Chief Williams on the floor, barely conscious. Sir, sir, stay with me. I'm calling ambulance. The ambulance took 45 minutes to arrive because of Lagos traffic. During those agonizing minutes, Chief Williams was slipping in and out of consciousness. And every time he woke, he said the same thing. Baba Tund, find Baba Tund. I need to tell him sorry. The driver was confused. Sir, Baba Tund? The gateman from many years ago? Find him, please, before I die. Chief Williams was rushed to Reddington Hospital in Victoria Island. The doctors stabilized him, but his condition was critical. He had suffered a major heart attack. He needed surgery, but his heart was too weak to handle it at the moment. For 3 days, Chief Williams lay in that hospital bed, connected to tubes and machines, drifting in and out of consciousness. His children were contacted. Kayamaka came from Lagos. Chukwudi couldn't come because he was in rehab. Obioma came reluctantly from London. But even in his semi-conscious state, Chief Williams kept calling for Baba Tund. The driver, a man named Emeka who had been working for Chief for 8 years, finally decided to take the matter seriously. He asked the older staff members, the ones who had been there when Baba Tund was fired, if anyone knew where he might have gone. Mama Ejiro, the cook who was still working there, said, I think I'm people dem day for Ibadan side. Somewhere around Akinyele area. But I know sure. Emeka took the initiative. He drove to Ibadan, went to Akinyele local government, and started asking around. He showed pictures of Baba Tund that he had found in old photo albums in the mansion. It took 2 weeks of searching, asking in markets, in churches, in villages, before finally, a young teacher in a small community school said, Oh, that man? That's Mr. Bayadun's father. He lives with his son in that house over there. Emeka's heart leapt. Emeka knocked on the small gate of a modest house in the village. A young man in his 30s opened it. Good afternoon. I'm looking for Baba Tund. The young man's face became suspicious.
Who are you?
What do you want with my father? My name is Emeka. I'm Chief Williams' driver. Chief is in the hospital. He's been asking for your father. He wants to see him. Bayadun's expression hardened. Chief Williams? The man who threw my father out like a dog? The man who accused him of theft? After everything my father did for him? I know, sir. I know what happened was wrong. But Chief is dying. He's been calling your father's name for weeks. He wants to apologize. He wants to make things right before he dies. My father nearly died when that man chased him. Do you know what we went through? My father came to my house here in Ibadan with nothing. Nothing. He was sick for months because of the stress. He's 78 years old now. And now Chief Williams wants to see him because he's dying? Where was he all these years? Please, sir. I'm just a messenger. Let me at least tell your father. Let him decide. Bayadun hesitated, then called inside the house. Baba, someone wants to see you. Baba Tund came out slowly, walking with a stick. He was bent now, his hair completely white, his face more wrinkled. But his eyes were still kind. When he saw Emeka, recognition flickered in his eyes. You be the driver, ABI? Yes, sir. Baba Tund, Chief Williams Day Hospital. Idon Day call your name. Iwan see you. Baba Tund was quiet for a moment. Then he said simply, Make we go. Baba, Bayadun protested. After what he did to you. My son, Baba Tund interrupted gently. I done forgive em long time ago. If the man wants see me before him die, make I go. Nah, the right thing to do. The next day, Baba Tund and Emeka drove back to Lagos. They went straight to the hospital. When they reached Chief Williams' private room, Kayamaka was there, sitting by her father's bedside. When she saw Baba Tund walk in, her face went pale. Uncle Tund, she whispered, tears immediately filling her eyes. Kayamaka, Baba Tund said softly. How your papa day? He's not well. The doctors say his heart is very weak. Baba Tund walked slowly to the bedside. Chief Williams was asleep, looking old and frail, a shadow of the powerful man he once was. Oga, Baba Tund said quietly, touching Chief's hand. Chief Williams' eyes fluttered open. When he saw Baba Tund standing there, his eyes widened. Tears immediately started flowing. Baba, he whispered, his voice hoarse. Baba, you came? Yes, Oga. I come. Chief Williams tried to sit up but was too weak. Baba Tund gently helped adjust his pillows. Baba, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Chief Williams began to weep. I destroyed you. I accused you of something you didn't do. I threw you out after everything you did for me. I let pride and foolish friends turn me into a wicked man. I ruined the best thing I had. Forgive me, Baba. Please forgive me. Baba Tund held Chief Williams' hand in both of his. His own eyes were wet. Oga, I forgive you since a long time ago.
How?
How can you forgive me? Because unforgiveness, na prison. E day trap the person way day carry am. I no one live for prison. I choose peace. I choose to forgive you, same day you chase me. Chief Williams sobbed uncontrollably. Kayamika, watching this, was also crying. I don't deserve your forgiveness, Baba. Nobody deserve forgiveness, Oga. Na why dem day call am grace. You no remember when your wife, may her soul rest in peace. You no remember whatten she tell me before she die? She hold my hand and say, Baba, promise me you go always pray for my family, even if dem no deserve am. I make that promise, and I keep am. Even after you chase me, I still day pray for you every day. For you, for Kayamika, for your children. Because that's what love do. Love no day keep record of wrong. Chief Williams wept like a child. I wasted years. I destroyed everything. My children are scattered. My friends betrayed me. My business is struggling. Everything fell apart after you left. Nah, because you forget who you be. You forget where you come from. Pride na poison, Oga. Ego make person lose everything. They sat there in silence for a moment. Two old men who had once been like father and son, reunited in the twilight of their lives. Baba, I want to make things right. Whatever you need. I no need anything from you, Oga. I get my small house for village. My children day, okay. God don take care of me. The only thing I want na for you to find yourself again. Remember who you be. Remember say money no be everything. Family be everything. Loyalty be everything. Good heart be everything. Chief Williams nodded, still crying. Kayamika came forward and knelt beside Baba Tund. Uncle Tund, I'm the reason all this happened. I'm so sorry. I accused you of stealing my necklace when it was my carelessness. I destroyed your life because of my foolishness. Please forgive me. Baba Tund placed his hand on her head. My daughter, you be like my own Pekin. I forgive you long time, but make you learn from this. Make you learn say before you accuse person. Make sure say you get your facts correct. Words day powerful. Dem fit destroy person life. Chief Williams survived that health scare. The doctors performed the surgery, and by God's grace, he pulled through. In the months that followed, Chief Williams made sure Baba Tund was taken care of. He built him a proper 3-bedroom house in his village with modern amenities. He opened a fixed deposit account with $5 million for him. He made sure all of Baba Tund's children were comfortable. But more than the material things, their relationship was restored. Baba Tund would visit the mansion sometimes, and they would sit together like old times, talking and praying. Chief Williams also changed. He cut off the toxic friends who had poisoned his mind. He reconnected with his children and started being a real father to them. He helped Kayamika divorce her abusive husband and supported her and the children. He went to America and brought Chikwudi back, got him proper treatment for his addiction. He had a real conversation with Obioma about values and priorities. Slowly, painfully, Chief Williams rebuilt what he had destroyed. But some things could never be fully recovered. The years lost, the pain caused, the damage done. These scars remained. Chief Williams learned, the hard way, one of life's most important lessons. The people who stand by you in the valley deserve to stand with you on the mountain. Never let pride make you forget those who were loyal when you had nothing. When you allow jealousy, pride, and the wrong voices to guide you, you'll destroy the very people who would die for you. A single lie, believed in anger, can destroy a lifetime of loyalty. And when you destroy a loyal heart, you destroy a part of yourself. Forgiveness is possible, but some mistakes can never be undone. Choose wisely who you listen to. Choose wisely how you treat those who love you. Because one day, when you're old and broken and alone, the only thing that will matter is not how much money you made, but how many lives you touched with kindness and how many people genuinely cared when you fell. Honest question. If you were Baba Tund, could you forgive someone who destroyed your life over a false accusation? Or would bitterness have won? What does it take to forgive like that? And if this story touched your heart, please do 3 things right now. 1. Hit that subscribe button. I create powerful Nigerian moral stories like this every week. Stories about justice, forgiveness, and shocking revelations. 2. Smash that like button if this story moved you. 3. Share this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next powerful story. God bless you.